Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet, and welcome to another episode of Fanalysis, Avatar: The Last Airbender. I am Retty4, this is Greyjoy91,
Hello.
and this is Antoine Bandelay.
Be water, my friends.
Episode 19, Matt. Summarise it for us, please.
This is the 19th episode of Book 2. It is called The Guru. It's sort of like the penultimate episode of this season, and Aang has to go seek counsel of like a wise guru who can help him master the Avatar state. And the gang's all kind of gone their separate ways, and they're all doing different things. So let's get into it.
Yeah, opening up with Zuko, who has gone crazy, because he's now just the nicest, happiest, perfectly content person ever, seemingly. It's a weird scene for me.
They do that because they're going to take it right from underneath his... They do that a lot in narratives where they're like, oh, the opposite thing of what's going to happen to this person, let's highlight that.
Yeah, I would have wanted, for this episode, at least for the first stage, I would have wanted a lot more subtlety with him. Until we get Azula back in the picture, he is just weirdly over the top nice in my mind. And if it was to put on for the sake of Iroh, he wants to be kind and he was trying to be considerate and genuinely try, I could buy that. But there's no scene to kind of establish that it isn't actually genuine, and I find that really weird. It was a weird snap fix from the illness kind of thing, for me anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've talked about this before, many times, off camera, but I don't personally have a problem with it because I think of how short-lived it is. I can buy it as an honest attempt not to ruin Iroh's day and just really, really try to have a good day.
And it completely works on that level, no question at all. For me, I felt like we needed that small moment where you see him, even just that he's looking over his shoulder and kind of like a small smile fades or something to establish that it is him putting on, a good face for Iroh, because that actually bolsters his character in my opinion, because he's doing it for the right reasons. He's still struggling internally, but he's putting in that effort now that he's had this realization.
I buy it because there's like you say, he doesn't know Azula is involved, and he made a choice the episode before last, and so now it's if he's still not committing to any kind of thing, he's still the same leaf in the wind. So, and I can buy that he's genuinely happy for Iroh at least. I don't think that's an act.
Oh yeah, that definitely not, no, but just the full on presentation of it, I think is him kind of trying to get it across more, because he has to try, because this is Zuko. He's the grumpy teen up until this point. If he's going to start supporting Iroh and being pleased for him, he's going to have to put some effort into presenting that, because it's not instinct by itself, which I like, and I love that idea. It just, to me, I would have refined the execution just a little bit, because it is a bit full on face. I'm now happy, which just seems a bit weird, but yeah, cool idea though.
Also, when we get to the council scene, actually, no, we're not in the council scene yet, but I have things for the council scene.
Hold it in. We'll get there, though.
We're getting there.
Yeah, Sokka is nervous about meeting his dad. Kind of they're touching down on Appa and arriving there. I like that because it's human. It's realistic. It's the fact that it's been 2 years. He's nervous that it's not going to be the same as it was. It's natural. I really enjoy that moment, and as well as the fact that the tribe welcomes him ahead of the time. Before we get to the dad moment, the tribe welcomes him back and recognizes him, because obviously they would have done. They've grown up with him as well, or he's grown up, with them in his life anyway. It was a cool moment and a good tension builder as well for the approach to the tent. That wasn't intentional, but yeah, pun. But then he enters the tent, obviously, and we get the hug. We get the nice reunion moment, which is a long time coming when you think about it. We've had a little build up to this.
It's a nice, sweet little scene. But then, someone needs to tell the king not to reveal your plans to the people who don't need to know the plans. Especially even if he does think they're just Kyoshi warriors.
Yeah, you don't tell the lower.
They're not
soldiers.
on a need to know basis.
Yeah, there's a reason we have operational security. But yeah, he's naive, as we said last time. It's an understandable flaw. It hadn't occurred to me until a later scene that how much everything falls into Azula's lap here. It's just completely. Mm-hmm. She don't get me wrong. She has agency and she puts in the work to make it work for her. But in terms of the initial bits of information that kind of trigger the passion for it and the drive and the urgency, it just literally falls into her lap in a really amusing way later on. But yeah, now we have the Council of Five after this small elite team moment. What were you wanting to say about that, Antoine?
Oh, yeah, it was the globe of Avatar, because I think we talked about this in the first book, about why isn't that either the Fire Nation or the Earth Kingdom ever attacked from either of the other sides, but they always go across the world map. So is it a bunch of water on one side, or is there some crazy old Valyria doomsday area that no one passes on the other side, so no one ever travels too far to the east if you're on like the Fire Nation side, or west if you're on the opposite way. East if you're on the Earth Kingdom side, or west if you're on the Fire Nation side. Because like when they
never
had
really
the
explains it, does it?
yeah,
just
it's
go
just
like, well,
what's
we
on the
can't
other
go that
side?
way.
Why did you guys
yeah.
travel that way?
Um,
Or is the world actually flat here?
yeah,
I was gonna say,
it's
I
not
thought
something
that's
I
what-
genuinely care about in the narrative, obviously, but I feel like it's something that does need to be, answered in some way, because otherwise you are questioning, well, why don't you just go the other way? What keeps the other coasts clear?
Yeah.
It is a bit of an odd one.
like looking at where the capital of the Fire Nation at least is, I don't really want to be going that way. It's over like a
That's true too, because
fucking
it is
volcano
protected
mountains
by
and stuff, yeah.
you know,
mountains and volcanoes.
Whereas the natural bay
so-
is to the
but
east.
there's no good explanation for the vice versa, like why the Fire Nation fights all across the Earth Kingdom instead of like attacking just the capital, which is like way on the other side. But so I understand that part. But anyhow, my question is, how come they gave the message to Katara instead of like
she's
the
just
leaders
a kid.
themselves?
It's like these are the generals of the capital
Yeah.
of the largest military outside of the Fire Nation in the world, and therefore, yeah, she can handle it.
Yeah, and apparently they're not in the palace because she like leaves this place to deliver the message, and she's like, maybe we'll go get some tea on the way there. So
Yeah,
where is this?
To be fair, that's not too. I mean, it's not particularly convenient, obviously, but that's not outside of the norm, because a lot of times the military buildings will be completely
No,
separate,
but what I'm saying is, so she's physically leaving this place wherever it is with the
oh yeah, with the
important
security, with the important
information,
security,
so, like,
yeah,
you
with
would just
no
never do
escort, no anything. Yeah, that's a case
Yeah.
of the kids being involved, taken to like a ridiculous degree for me. I agree. It's a weird moment. But it's just essentially just giving her something to do as well, because she doesn't need to be here.
Yeah.
Like, she did not need to be giving this news. She could have been over there with Sokka and her dad, as we said last episode. It's weird.
That's true. Yeah, she could have just gone. Yeah. But then this is when Aang meets Guru. Is it Pathik or Patik? I'm not sure how it's said.
Pathik,
But
I think. I don't know.
in any case, he's the Guru, and
Guru
he's like
P.
the oldest man.
In the setting
Master
at the moment,
P.
yeah.
Not to be confused with Master P, is P Master. But anyway, he's got like to be one of the older people in the setting because he says he's a friend of Monkey Atso, and
So unless he
Yeah.
was a kid back then as well, he must be
he's
absolutely
over.
ancient. So
Yeah.
He might be similar
Start-
age to Aang, actually, if anything.
Yeah, start drinking the onion and banana juice, guys. It'll keep you going.
I don't understand this. Is that like a real thing, or is that just something?
It can't be.
I mean, it's probably been
Can
tried
be.
before, but yeah, I wouldn't go for it personally. Oh, can you
I hope
imagine
it's
just
not,
the
but it-
smell alone? Ugh.
Yeah.
And
those are like two of them my not.
Oh my god,
favorite
yeah,
things
it's
all in
actually
one.
no, it's not actually a thing. It's just Avatar.
Oh, I was just gonna say.
I love onions and I love bananas, but together, no, thank you, and certainly not in a drink.
Right.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Um,
Like raw onions are not my favorite thing in the world, even though I do like them on something. Everyone wants to know that. They want to know my opinion on onions. I'm sorry. I'll move on. Moving on.
it's the chef in you. It's too much. Yeah, no. Toph. This is when she gets
All right.
back
Tough.
to the
Tough is
bounty
the-
hunters.
they need a name. These two stooges here, like they're ridiculous.
Yeah, I had a hard time like
I couldn't be asked to look it up, so I just
Yeah.
named them the bounty hunters.
Yeah.
They do have
Yeah,
names.
it's like-
We get them in the original episodes.
Very sneaky top, or like whatever. He's like, but she's
really,
not. though.
she's not. You're just an idiot. It's played. Oh, it's just drop
Yeah.
kid humor as Avatar is known for, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do give them the motivation, the kind of idea. Like not even you can metal bend. You may be the great. You can't call yourself the greatest person in the world, and not even you can't do that. And she's like, can I? It's like challenge accepted moment that gets her on the right track. Yeah, and then we get a really cool scene. Actually, I really enjoyed this one between Azula and the small elite team, kind of discussing and basically Azula monologuing on her.
Was, like, expository.
It
Like,
is,
'cause I
yeah,
thought
it
that
is, but it's
it
cool.
was so-
like,
It was so expository because I remembered that they stage a conversation later, and I thought, is Azula already doing that? Because this is way on the nose. She's like, "We have an opportunity to take over everything, ladies. Let's do it." And I was like, "Oh, it's going to cut to a Dai Li outside the window listening," and it didn't. So that was
Yeah.
just the way she talks all the
it could have
time.
done for the sake of efficiency and time. I think that would have been a very good setup actually, if so that she's explaining it for that reason. Yeah. But if they just change the wording a bit. But to me, I kind of like the scene anyway, because you're right, it is exposition, and there's no real reason I guess that I should particularly like it. But I feel like I don't know. It felt well set up and framed for me. It was a cool, just the team breathing moment.
You like the characters, and I mean, so that
It's not even that much really, because I don't particularly care about Ty Lee or May, and they're the side of it that I think kind of helped the scene feel natural. Just the fact that they're removing the makeup and stuff. I don't know. It was a cool breathing moment for me. But yeah, Azula, is monologuing. That's all it really is. And then back to Guru, who is explaining chakras, which is the first time it's really come up in Avatar here. It's obviously it's a real thing for one, but also it's heavily featured in a lot of fiction that uses spirituality for the obvious reasons. I like the way it's done here, though. Not only the explanation of each stage and its relevance to the character, but also the explanation for the chakras in general when it comes to the pools. I thought it was a really effective visual and simple, just description of the process. It really helped to explain what the chakra gates are about for people who have no clue. As
completely agree with you. I really like it.
And it wasn't explaining the science either. Yeah, very quickly, especially considering we're cutting between these scenes. But also the fact that it wasn't like, and this is how this works, and this is how this works, and this is how this works. It actually, like you said in the previous episode, it explained it just enough. Didn't go too in depth on it. But the first two gates he tries are the Earth Gate and the Water Gate, which are survival and pleasure, respectively. And my favourite part is that we get the description for what blocks them, because that's what he's trying to clear. So that's the relevant part to Aang. It's the for that I think it's fear and it's a guilt for water. Yeah,
guilt for pleasure. Yeah, or pleasure and what? Yes.
Yeah. So those two are the first he has to break through, which are cool. I think these are the two that have the most time spent on them as well. That's outside of the cosmic one, because he kind of just breezes through most of the gates. Which is
the one that
he's been growing up with that already.
Oh, for sure.
With the idea of letting all that kind of stuff go.
The one where he had to forgive himself, I was like, oh, that was easy.
Yeah, I did feel I'm not a fan of that idea in general. In certain circumstances, in a lot of circumstances, it's absolutely apt that you do have to forgive yourself to move past and become a positive force in the world again. But there are some things I think that people benefit from not forgiving themselves for personally. But yeah, the fact that he breezes through it like that, because it's just like, and the sound effect as well. I like the sound effect, but some of the moments it very much kind of detracts for me. It's like, okay, we're done. It's like unlocked.
It's like Blue's Clues something.
Yeah, it was very strange. And the Guru's reaction as well.
I think if you're forgiving yourself for something that you feel guilty over, that's really tough to do. That's a process.
Especially
a lot of healing.
Especially Aang, because he's carrying a lot of it. It's not his fault, obviously, but the fact that he the weight that we've seen from it, the fact that it's been bigged up in the storm, in previous issues he's had with just dealing with the survivor's guilt and stuff, it's a big deal. And I feel like this episode needed a bit more time to dwell on it if we wanted to be fully effective. But what it did was, it was.
It's
right.
not bad for what it is. I agree with you. Yeah,
it could have done with more time. That was all.
And then there was Sokka with his dad and the stink bomb.
Which is just basically setting up that his dad's as big a goof as he is.
I'm with Bato on that one.
Yeah, you're his son. The guy's having to put up with his father the entire time. Cool idea though. It's effective. It's a Sokka-esque invention, which is cool.
Yeah,
it's the stink and sink.
That's where he
called.
gets it from.
But yeah, and then Iroh opening the Jasmine Dragon, which is a great name, by the way.
It's funny because that was the first one he floated out when he was trying to earlier.
For the record,
a bunch of other clunkers.
I do like the T Weevil though. I think the Jasmine Dragon is definitely a lot more.
No, that's stupid.
That was too easy a dismissal.
That's what he said.
Yeah, we're on the next chakra gate, which is willpower, which is fire, and what was the other one?
There's only one in this one, right?
Oh, right, this one. Yeah. And but by shame, as you said.
We spent time on that, huh?
Yeah. No, it was the previous one we spent time on. I think it was this one. It was the guilt one. Nope.
Oh, this is the one. This is the one where he reflects on the fact he burned Katara, right?
Yes.
He doesn't want to be a firebender. I did like this one because of the way that he said that because you're the Avatar, you are a firebender. Like the way he says it is because it's a way of having to accept an uncomfortable truth instead of running from it.
Yeah, it's part of who he is as well. There's a very strong sense of nature here in terms of not just who he is spiritually, but physically. You are the Avatar. This is a part of your being, and the fact that the chakras are so intrinsically connected to him biologically, spiritually mostly, of course, but biologically in this world as well. The fact that he has literal pools of energy kind of circling around him. in a
And
physical
the
sense.
cool
It
thing,
works that well.
And the
yeah,
connection point I think is really important too as a lesson to him, because he kind of has like the epiphany of, yeah, we live separately, but we are all as one. Just in the
Mm.
same way that I am the Avatar, I have these elements of me, but the whole of me is everyone and everything, which is what leads to him, doing like Republic City and having that combo.
Absolutely, yeah. That it comes back to that Avatar balance again. It's a repeating theme, not just for him specifically, but just every character and how they can become whole as people. And again, in real life, as we've said, taking
yeah,
drawing
Because at
your
that same moment,
experience
that's when
from
we have the
different ways.
Toph.
Yeah,
right.
which is what I was about to
That's when we
say.
have the
I
Toph,
love
because
that
she's
transition.
understanding like, oh, earthbending isn't just rocks, like it's in more than just rocks. In the same way that someone might have discovered bloodbending, it's like, oh, water isn't just like, in the ocean or in rivers, it's also in people's bloods, or it's in fucking flowers and shit like that.
It's a
like
cool transition to that scene, but also I like the fact that it isn't dominating the scene. After the introduction, it kind of his voice peels off and it goes back to focusing on Toph, which is good because it's a Toph moment. So I really like how they blended that kind of message they were sending, which is really cool. And
and the other example, lightning bending, of course, that stemming from water bending, like the elevation and evolution of each individual element comes by way of the help of other elements.
And their application specifically. It's very cool. And powerful thematically as well, not just in the physical sense.
Yeah, and I do like to hone back in on the fire one as well. Like even though he points it out to him, he doesn't actually do anything with it for quite some time. So it's not like an instant fix, because he stands by the fact that he's not going to firebend again for a while until he has to later on. But like the idea is like they make it through to the invasion without that happening. So there's like this sense that I'll never have to do that if I can like you take him out during the time when the firebending's turned off anyway. So I like that he doesn't instantly just overcome that reticence. I think that's more believable.
Absolutely, and it beautifully plays into his identity as an airbender as well. Dodge around, evade, get around the problem rather than through it. It's the way Aang's mentality is so perfectly blended with the spiritual and psychological kind of nature of the airbenders and their culture. It's I love how all of these little tidbits that we get along the journey are helping him overcome that long term, but short term it's still him. It's still its instincts. It's still his personal preference that drive him. Particularly in this stage of the story, because he hasn't gone through that, that overall struggle yet. It's just another bit of a step on the path. But yeah, we get the Azula and May and Ty Lee doing the trick, as we said before. We're just tricking their tails, basically, in the most obvious way possible. The Ty Lee are idiots.
Right.
But still, it gets the job done. And yeah, they see that going.
This is okay because, again, of the target audience. If this was... anything else, this would be crazy, but because of what it is, it's fine.
The Dai being idiots. Then we have the heart gate, which deals with love, held up by grief, which is a very powerful one for Aang, actually. The scale of his grief from the fact that he's lost his entire culture, and the fact that the Guru addresses that as well. He kind of breezes through some of these gates, not just Aang, but the Guru as well. He's kind of like knowing that this isn't a big deal for you, so I'll give you a light description, you'll get over it, moving on. But this one, he acknowledges, such pain in a similar tone to him addressing Appa's when he's reading him beforehand in the previous episodes. It's that I got that kind of feel there. He's like, you've truly experienced a lot. Also reminded me of Lion King, with oh my god, name gone.
Simon Mufasa or Rafiki?
Rafiki, that was it. I can remember his name then. I didn't forget that one. Yeah, him dealing with the whole you can learn from the past thing. It was a nice refocusing of Aang's perspective on not the loss, but the love that was left behind, which is very, very powerful. Again, in real life. I love the fact that these messages are true for people in reality.
Yeah, well, that's what I think makes good art instead of just terrible art. But
don't take our word for it. Experience it in real life because it's true. It's all these truisms, which is cool.
Yeah,
completely agree.
And then was the one that was blocked by lies, truth.
This is the separation one that Antoine mentioned before. The great lie of the fact that everything is not separated. We are all connected.
Oh, that one's in the illusion. That's like the forehead one. Like this one. This one was like in the throat.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, the lies one. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, and that one was I was gonna say which lie, like the Bato lie, you know what I mean. But then he said the one that we tell ourselves, and I was like, oh, well, what is that? Because I actually forgot what his answer was was. But I liked how simple and kid-like it was. It was like when they asked why didn't you tell us you were the Avatar, he says because I never wanted to be.
Yeah.
And I like the way he says it. Like he says "cuz" instead of "because." I just like how kid-like and simple. It's simple and powerful. Was that one? I
and
like that.
earnest as well. It's the fact that it's true to him, not just in that moment, but as a character throughout. It's part of his hurdle that he has to get over, which is so. It's one of those almost. It has to be accidental on this level because they have so many layers to the impact of these ideas that it's a hurdle for him that he has to get over in full representation of the hurdles of the chakra gates. He's breaking through these and unblocking the paths, and it's not just the simple act of that, but the layer on top of that, just from interpreted meaning. It's so powerful. I love it. Avatar just has to stumble into these. They cannot be that level of genius, or it wouldn't have. It would have been happening a lot more.
It's because they had like a good. I'm not making a small elite team joke. I'm not. They had like the team was on point at that time. It's like they knew what they were doing. I think that they sort of stumbled into these opportunities, but were smart enough and wise enough to realize what they'd found and take time and grab something out of it.
Yeah. Absolutely, because don't get me wrong, they are doing extremely intelligent and artful work here. It's just there are some little nuggets on top of the already acknowledgeable stuff that has to be circumstantial or accidental, because otherwise they need to be writing more stuff. Is what I'm saying.
It's kind of proven by the fact they haven't done anything out of it since.
Yeah, it's like, whoops, we stumbled into genius. Lightning strikes once. But yeah, we then get the jump to Toph actually discovering metal bending and properly breaking out. Or no, discovering it and not breaking out. Yeah, that comes later. But she's kind of realizing
because that's in line with the other chakra that you guys spoke about with the illusion of separation. Yeah.
And Katara then having her weird tea detour. I mean, I'm all for tea, as we know. I'm drinking it literally right now.
Well,
but,
I mean, it's fine.
But when you've got the super secrets plans that need to be urgently delivered to the Earth King for a seal so this invasion can start, maybe just go to the Earth King and then have your tea.
Right. I agree with
in the palace, where it's probably going to be better as well.
Or just don't give the plans to Katara in the first place, guys. Or give them to Momo. He can fly. He's like a Game of Thrones raven.
Oh yeah, for real. But it works though that she finally did bump into them because they finally got accepted to the upper ring, and they established previously that upper ring and lower ring do not interact whatsoever.
It narrows the scope of possibility where she can stumble into them because there's only going to be a few of these tea houses around. So that's fine in that regard, and it's the only reason she's doing it. Obviously, she wouldn't be doing this otherwise. But it's the funny reaction when she goes, "Wait, what?" She just sees Iroh and Zuko just surreally serving tea and just like, "What?"
Iroh and Zuko are here, and you'll never believe what they're doing. What are they doing? They're serving tea. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
But anyway.
And again, that was the moment where I realized, Jesus, things really do just drop into Azula's lap because she had no clue about Zuko at this point. She wasn't even on her radar.
I like that sort of sociopathic aspect or like that's how in control of herself she is, like even because her eyes went like flashed when she heard oh shit, that's bad, but I'm not gonna react at all because like I don't actually feel anything right now, you know what I mean? I just think that's
but
really
as was stated previously, it's because Azula puts in the work prior that these things are set up, because if you do that work, these things can fall in your lap in situations like this, as long as you've got, the good foundation. Like she's put herself in a position where she's going to hear a lot of things. Granted, some of these things are like, put in front of her a little bit, maybe like too easily, but at the same token, like she did it.
Absolutely. I think I said it in one of the previous episodes that she definitely has agency here. She's putting in the work both before and after she's heard the information, but it's just the fact that it is like super convenient, some of the specific nuggets she gets. Like there was no other reason for her to find out about Zuko other than the fact that it just happened from circumstance before.
Katara came and told her.
Yeah. Even the fact that she told the Kyoshi warriors, they could have been in another room while she told the king. There are so many little things that she's like, oh well, this is super convenient. But yeah, it's super effective, and it's not like or it's completely effective. Sorry, and it's not like it's a problem at all. It just made me laugh when I was making the notes. But yeah, she spills the beans to them, obviously. But that's actually a later scene because we cut back to that after the fact. In the meantime, Aang is dealing with the largest gate or the largest hurdle he has to get through, because it relates to his earthly attachments, for which is basically his entire motivation for doing anything, because it's a Hufflepuff, as we've spoken before. The cosmic energy thought gate, where he's trying to unlock the Avatar state in its fullest potential. Beautiful visuals. I love this. I always have. And it carries over to Korra as well, which I love.
Yeah, they do this a lot. I think it's a good moment because you can understand just depending on your age range. If you're like a kid, maybe you're understanding this for the first time because you didn't see Star Wars yet or something of that ilk. But I like how you just obviously understand the wisdom behind what the guru's saying, but from Aang's perspective, what he's saying is logical. He's like 3 chakras ago, this was a good thing.
Yeah, I love that line. I love that line.
yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
the fact that he's being cheeky and also right though. It's not like he's just complaining. He's actually saying, "But you like literally 3 chakras ago." It's great.
Yeah,
That was something I had to push through,
Yeah.
and I got it. And now I'm like supposed to get rid of that.
It's brilliant. And I like that the guru is failing to get the message across as well, that letting go doesn't mean dismissing or discarding. It's just the personal attachment to it, not your love for it. He's not quite getting that across because he's not really the best person necessarily suited to deal with it for Aang. For one thing, experience is the best way of dealing with this, but also Aang is so personally reacting to the idea, like he's negatively lashing out because what? No, why would I do that? What the hell? It just immediately snaps him out of the cosmic thing.
Also, his vision is a lot more clear than Luke's. Luke just like kind of hears like Nebula screaming or like I think they're in trouble. It just feels wrong, but he's like, no, I see her in chains.
But also in the next episode, it's kind of retcon because he's like, I don't know, I just got this bad feeling. He doesn't actually have the visual. Supposedly, it's just
that's the visual
for our
representation,
benefit.
not really representing.
It's for our benefit, I think. But yeah, you're right in terms of that moment. It definitely, before we get the clarification next episode, it is kind of clear. Okay, I need to go now. She's in prison. But yeah, it's just that Empire Strikes Back moment of like, well, gotta go to Bespin. I mean, Ba Sing Se.
and the point on the guru failing to get the point across, I think that a lot of times, though they didn't have to actually say it in this case, is the idea that somebody who's reached that state of enlightenment kind of is like a step removed and has lost the ability to effectively communicate.
Right.
That's what I mean.
That
That's
way
what I mean.
more.
It's the fact that he's so distanced himself. It's so a part of who he is that he can't really connect that. And it's, as you say, it's something that's not unique to him. It's someone who's always really felt that enlightenment. How do you explain the significance and importance of that enlightenment to someone who is feeling love, which is far more tangible? I mean, look at Game of Thrones. What's his name? Maester for the Crows.
There's a lot of characters.
Maester for the Crows.
Oh, Maester, not Lewin. Maester Aemon.
Aemon,
right?
Yeah, it is Aemon. I thought it was.
Oh, right.
Yeah, when he's talking
Aemon
about
Targaryen,
what are words and vows to like the love of a woman, that kind of thing. Just the earthly.
And him actually understanding that. You know what I mean? Because most times you have those stage characters not even bringing that up, and he's like, "Well, no, I get it. Like it's great when you actually have a child and you have him in your hands first time. Like." He puts that out there, but he also says, but there's also our duty that we need to do, or else all of it, goes to waste. Yeah. You need that kind of commentary to come from those sage characters for it to really be effective, rather than just getting like the dogmatic, this is what you need to do. Just cut off.
And as well as the fact that that's wisdom and intelligence, it's not just, Aang just being childish, he needs to discard this. No, this is important stuff. I mean, Iroh highlights it in the next episode that, he thinks that Aang has made a good call going for happiness over power. Because the Enlightenment gets you a lot of spiritual points and is extremely important to everyone really in its own right, but not at the expense of the attachment and the love and the physical, real emotional connection you have with the world around you and the people around you. More importantly, especially considering again that's Aang. He's a Hufflepuff. He can't just go like, I'm going to become a spiritual scholar and ignore everything else in the world. And he's the Avatar.
Well, even if he was going to, Iroh's definitely the sort that wants you to live life or taste it before that happens.
Absolutely.
Right?
Like, know what you're counting yourself out of at least, instead of just going along with it.
For sure. But yeah, he ultimately makes the decision to leave very quickly. Understandably, he's like, I'm out of here. Got to go help my friends or help my friend.
Which is cool because of that tick, which is like, or that tag at that butt or catch. So it's like, if you leave now, you can't go in at all, because he didn't say that up front. He just said that once you start, you have to finish or else.
Which
but
isn't even true. He answers it.
But he
only after
right?
only after the detachment again. But you're right. He doesn't.
Oh, that's right. No, that's right. Because he did see Katara. That's right.
He goes, I'm sorry, Katara. Yeah,
you're right.
I'm sorry, and let's go.
Which it happens real quickly.
Yeah, and very conveniently. but yeah, it's set up for that subversion because
it's nowhere near as convenient as Book 3. Like
Oh look, a convenient rock. But never mind. Anyway, but yeah, I love the delivery of the line as well. You will not be able to go into the Avatar state at all. It's like that arm sweep with it. It was very dramatic and powerful, and a good kind of and nope, carrying on. It's very cool.
And then, so did we talk about
where are we right now? She's
like,
well, I like that they had the kind of hang the lantern moment where it's like she's doing one of her tricks, and then the guy's like, what trick? Like, she's gone, dude. I like that he actually said
the brawny, straightforward guys.
What? It's like, And I love that the one between the two of them, the seafood guy, what he sounds more wise, but he's not. He's the dumber of the two.
idiot.
Even though, yeah,
Yeah, the plain
Um,
speaking, like simple. You'd presume
there's a
brute
giant
of the
hole
two.
in the
It's like,
box.
what the
How
hell?
is
are
that
you-
a trick? Yeah,
She doesn't need to trick us, and yeah, it's not. It's the real thing. And she then kicks their ass, and also potentially leaves them to just die of thirst.
I've thought of that. Yeah, Which,
Yeah, they should be dead. I mean, but it might be a well traveled.
That's what I'm thinking. It must
They
be a
are on
road
a
that's well
road.
traveled, but that's putting up the chance. Still,
and somebody will
yeah.
have to like pry them out of that thing because she ruined it. You can't just use the key
Yeah.
to unlock it anymore.
so you
Yeah.
need someone with heavy duty equipment to get them out. It's not like it's a
Mhm.
small thing. But anyway, it's hand wave. We get that, and then it jumps back to Sokka having his moment with his father that was rudely interrupted or postponed at least by Aang's arrival. And it's like, oh, this can't be good.
Rudely interrupted. He's gonna. You need my help to save your sister. I mean, it's fair enough. You know?
I love the reaction when he arrives. He's like, oh god, this can't be good. This is just obviously gonna be a problem, and then immediately gets on and heads off. And also that trope again, looking back over the shoulder from like a mile away and seeing the dad looking up and smiling. It's like
Yeah.
Sokka can't see that. But still, that's again, it's comic.
But
comic
everything's
stuff.
connected. You can feel the smile. Yeah. Also, like Hakoda, like terrible dad. It's just, oh, my daughter's been kidnapped. Go on, go help.
Go help.
But
Yeah, bye.
I'm just kidding. I don't actually feel like that.
But it is funny. Again, it's one of those Avatar, the kids will handle it things.
Yeah.
But yeah, then we get Azula tricking Long Feng, being put in the cell and
this is,
setting up the whole leadership thing.
Basically, this is his final scene, right?
No, he gets the the absolute smashing he gets from her next season.
Oh, I'm
next
sorry.
episode,
This is Guru. I was thinking of you're right.
the
Sorry
final one.
about
Yeah, I love that moment by the way, but we'll get there. That's one of Azula's ultimate scenes for me. But yeah, she tricks him here and sets up. What are we going to do? What plan is this? This is brilliant. Playing the fool as she likes to do. And then Ira getting the news about the tea being delivered for the king. He's got the summons, as it were.
Oh, right.
Leading to Azula's second and good finisher, which is the evil smiling shot. And that's the episode. That is the end, leading into the final episode.
Penultimate.
The Crossroads of Destiny is going to be very good to cover, I think. Any closing thoughts for this one? I mean, we've covered this pretty exhaustively so far.
Pretty good.
Love the
Same.
episode. It's a lot of great content. I love the spirituality involved. I'm not a big fan of the quote-unquote tropey stuff like this in general, but this was extremely well handled, and especially for a first time. If you haven't experienced it before, this is an excellent first intro to the idea of the spiritual nature and the connection to it, the characters involved specifically. Really cool. But yeah, anything you think we haven't covered in great enough detail or just missed entirely, please comment down below and we'll get to it at some point. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm Ready4, and I still don't have an outro.
Graded 91. Thanks for watching. See you later.
Antoine Benedele, peace, love, and remember, be water, my friends.
Goodbye.